Hello, everyone, and welcome to Polarized. I'm your host, Molly Dare, here with the latest breaking news. Starting off with, we've all been waiting for it, the Epstein Files, Part 1. Attorney General Pam Bondi claims thousands of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein were withheld by the FBI, hence the delay. She has just released the first release of records, which she stated would include a lot of names, though the initial files lacked the bombshell information that a lot were waiting for. A little bit of background. Epstein allegedly abused more than 100 women between 2002 and 2018, assembling an alleged network of underage women who were abused by him and his associates. He was indicted in federal court in 2019 for sex trafficking and died in prison later that year. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was his accomplice, was then sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2022. So these documents that were just released came out after hundreds of pages of materials related to Epstein have already been released through various court cases, including a mass unsealing just last year in the case of Giuffre brought against Maxwell, which had previously been settled. So this is not a lot of new information. So why the delay? Bondi had directed Kash Patel to probe why the documents weren't initially provided and requested the FBI to deliver them in full and complete form by her office by 8 a.m. She said she would include all records, documents, audio, and video recordings and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, which clearly has not happened yet. Patel did respond on Twitter, or X, writing, "If there are gaps, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them." Thursday's Part 1 included flight logs, a redacted contact book, and a redacted masseuse list linked to Epstein, though some of these documents have already been publicly available through court filings and did not reveal groundbreaking information. Republicans and Democrats were asking why the delay, as they were promised on day one, and Bondi said that she was delaying to protect the victims. It was not about protecting the names on the list. She was protecting the victims. So what names could possibly be in the Epstein file? A number of high-profile individuals have been previously reported as being associated with Epstein. These have included Prince Andrew, former President Bill Clinton, Trump, David Copperfield, the magician, Michael Jackson, famed lawyer Alan Dershowitz has been a frequent name, former Victoria's Secret CEO Les Wexner, former Vice President Al Gore. So what are some other notable names in this 95-page contact book? It includes Florida's own Jimmy Buffett, supermodel Naomi Campbell, supermodel Janice Dickinson, and actor Chris Evans, Ted Kennedy Jr., Ethel Kennedy, Senator Edward Ted Kennedy, John Kerry, Courtney Love, Rupert Murdoch, Joan Rivers, Ivana Trump, Ivanka Trump, Barbara Walters, Prince Michael of Yugoslavia. There's a lot of names, you guys. It does not necessarily mean they engaged in the wrongdoings, but they were traveling with Epstein. All the living people referenced have denied any wrongdoing, and many court filings mention their names in connection with Epstein, but do not allege they were involved in any crimes. Alleged victims have accused Prince Andrew and Dershowitz of having sex with underage women linked to Epstein, but both have denied any wrongdoing. Prince Andrew actually settled a civil case brought by alleged Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, accusing him of sexual assault. So the number one question on everyone's mind is Trump on the Epstein flight logs? We already know this. Flight logs previously released in court have shown that Trump was on Epstein's plane 7 times. But with him were his then wife, Marla Maples, his son, Eric Trump, and his daughter, Tiffany Trump. They have been involved in business financial dealings for a very long time, and the flights reflect that. He has claimed to have cut ties with Epstein and reportedly barred him from Mar-a-Lago and other properties after the criminal charges were filed against him. The president said in 2009 that he was not a fan of Epstein and hadn't spoken to him within 15 years. Another question a lot of people are asking is Elon Musk on the list? There have been photos of Musk with Maxwell in recent weeks as the billionaire has become a major decision maker in the Trump administration. The U.S. Virgin Islands subpoenaed Musk in 2023 as part of its lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase that alleged the bank helped enable Epstein's crime. The bank denied any wrongdoing related to Epstein, and the case was later settled in September of 2023 with JP Morgan paying $75 million. The subpoena, which Musk and his lawyers did not respond to, reportedly concerned whether Epstein referred Musk to JP Morgan, which Musk vehemently denied. Is Bill Clinton linked to Jeffrey Epstein? His name has been thrown around quite a lot. The former president has also reportedly been mentioned in court filings related to Epstein and appears on many of the flight logs that have been released in court. He has not yet been accused of any wrongdoing, though alleged victims do claim in court filings unsealed just last year that Epstein told a victim that the former president, quote, likes them young, and Clinton allegedly threatened Vanity Fair not to write articles about Epstein. President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those with which he has been recently charged in New York, the Clinton spokesperson has said. In a 2019 statement after Epstein's indictment, stating the former president took 4 trips in total on Epstein's plane in conjunction with his work for the Clinton Foundation. He had 2 meetings in New York with Epstein and has not spoken to the financier in well over a decade. So when will the complete Epstein files be released? Everyone's waiting for the bombshell information, the stuff that we don't already know. It is honestly unclear any further documents will be publicly released, but Pam Bondi has promised that we will get them in its entirety, but it seems that she does not have the entire documents yet. In Forbes article, it says that much of the information released Thursday, such as flight logs and entries in Maxwell's Black Book, were already made public, though insider notes there are records the FBI seized from Epstein's properties in 2019 that have never been released. It's also not clear whether information in the documents will be redacted beyond protecting victims' information, though Blackburn has pushed for the government to release full documents without the redactions. The Associated Press notes that while the binders seen Thursday were labeled declassified, there's no indication this information has ever been classified. It is also unclear whether the FBI has ever had any solid evidence regarding Epstein's associates, suggesting there may be few, if any, revelations regarding high-profile figures connected to Epstein. I think we're all waiting for those FBI files that are not being handed over. I think we are all, along with Pam Bondi, waiting for those FBI files that they are not wanting to hand over. Hopefully that's released in the next round. So Gayle King, Katy Perry, and Lauren Sanchez are headed into space. And this sounds like the beginning of a really great joke, but it is not. This is actually happening. They will join 3 other women on the next mission from Jeff Bezos, his rocket company, Blue Origin, which was announced on Thursday. The 11th crewed flight of the company's New Shepard rocket is set to blast off this spring. They will fly alongside former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, bioastronautics research scientist Amanda Nguyen, and movie producer Carrie Ann Flynn in this all-female crew of 6. It was just announced on Thursday that King's journey in humorous fashion, using a Star Wars-like typeface and opening crawl. King 70 said she initially refused the trip after she was approached, then had a change of heart. She says, "I'm so afraid, but I'm also so excited about it. When they asked me, and they asked me around Thanksgiving, I was like, no. Then I started thinking about it, and I just thought, what a unique opportunity." These journeys are very brief, lasting only around 11 minutes. Passengers reached an altitude of just over 100 kilometers, which is about 62 miles, and it's considered the boundary between Earth and space. This suborbital vehicle, which is autonomous and flies without a pilot, returns after passengers have experienced a few minutes of views and weightlessness. 3 large parachutes slow its descent to facilitate a safe touchdown. Previous notable names who have gone on these flights include company founder Bezos, Star Trek actor William Shatner, former New York Giants great Michael Strahan, and astronaut Alan Shepard's daughter, Laura Shepard Churchley. New Shepard is named after Alan Shepard, the first American in space. New Shepard completed its first crewed flight in July of 2021 on board where Bezos, his brother Mark Bezos, pioneering aviator Wally Funk, and Dutch teenager Olivia Damon were present. The company has actually paused missions from 2022 to 2024, however, after a rocket booster crashed to the ground during an uncrewed launch. A ticket to ride New Shepard costs well into the 6 digits, though no formal price tag is listed on the company's website. So would you sign up for an 11-minute flight into space? for me. I like to have my feet on the ground. That is a definite no for me, but I'm excited to see what they experience and excited for them to report back, hopefully safely from the ground. Finally, for all you sports fans out there, Travis Kelce's retirement plans have been confirmed by Pat McAfee after months of speculation. Was he going to retire or not? I, of course, said he was going to give it one more year. It's his 13th year. And if you know, you know. Pat McAfee announced on his show that he is not retiring. He is coming back. And he read out a text message from the Kansas City Chiefs tight end on his Thursday show on the network, confirming he would return and play next season. In a text response, Travis says, "My dog, I'm coming back for sure. Gonna try and get to the best shape I've been this offseason and get back to the mountaintop. Got a real bad taste in my mouth with how I played in that last game and how I got the guys ready for battle. I can't go out like that." The last game that Kelce's referring to is, of course, the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs played horrifically bad, if I do say so myself. I don't know how to say it any nicer. Kelce's information that he will not be retiring from the NFL comes after the Chiefs general manager, Brett Veach, spoke during Wednesday's episode of the NFL's Insiders podcast, saying that Kelce was actually sick with a, quote, pretty big illness just before the game. Kelce did not mention being ill. He is not one to make excuses, so I'm not sure if that's been confirmed or not. He does go on to say, "We're never going to make excuses and talk about it, but he was battling with a pretty big illness there before the Super Bowl. But the way the Eagles played, it wouldn't have made a difference." Veach also addressed the nature of the Chiefs' Super Bowl loss, saying the game was a bad day to have a bad day. He added, "We're to use that as motivation to get better through this off season." He also hit back at the ongoing speculation about Kelce retiring, saying the Chiefs is expecting to see the tight end on the field in the upcoming NFL season. "We anticipate Travis being back. We're excited to have Travis back," he explained. Kelce previously spoke about his retirement on his podcast, New Heights. He says, "The fact that we keep going to these AFC championships and these Super Bowls, that means I'm playing an extra 3 games more than everybody else in the entire league," he said. "That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, it's going to be a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it. I'm fully here for them, and I think I could play. It's just whether or not I'm motivated, or it's the best decision for me as a man, as a human, and as a person to take on all the responsibility." I'm super excited to have him back. I can't wait for next season. I do love seeing Taylor Swift at the games, and we all know that 13 is her lucky number, so I think it's going to be a great year for the Kansas City Chiefs.